Hi there, it's Sunday afternoon, and I have had a few good drams of wonderful things. Where did I start? I think it was with some Chivas Regal. And following the Chivas Regal, I went to something else, which was Deveron 12, or was it 10? After the Deveron, I went to some 1999 Bal Blair, which was lovely. And then on top of that, I had some 15-year-old Springbank. So I'm 4 drams in. And that's about where I was last night, but I'll get to that later. What I have now is some 10-year-old Ledaig. Now, Ledaig is from the Tobermory Distillery on the Isle of Mull. And it says a bunch of stuff here. Let's see if I can read it with my regular glasses. Yeah. Okay. What gives Ledaig 10-year-old single malt Scotch whisky its intensely complex character? First, peat-dried malt barley is matured with our aromatic water, drawn from dark mountain lochs on the rugged Isle of Mull, matured in superior oak wood casks. The spirit then lies undisturbed for 10 long years. The result, a wonderfully peated single malt, robust and vibrant, with a spicy smokiness, floral seaside aromas, and hints of licorice and cloves. It's a taste you'll forever treasure and one you'll always return to. They're banking on repeat sales, if I can find this stuff again. Now, what's fantastic is that of late, they are getting in whiskeys that I've heard of but never seen on the shelf. And it seems that the range and the variety of things available on the shelf, locally at least, is improving. And we're getting more wonderful things to try. So I shouldn't run out anytime soon, because every time I go to a liquor store, there's something new or something that I've heard of but never had a chance to see or try. So here we are. This is the 10-year-old Ledaig. It is 750 mils for the North American market, 46.3% alcohol by volume, unchill filtered. Well, we don't know about color, but it's not chill filtered. And here is the bottle. Now, people who have been watching my videos in the past may have noticed that I usually uncork the bottle at the beginning. This bottle has been uncorked already, and I'll tell you why. Yesterday, I shot this video, or one very much like it. And it was 20 minutes long, and it was wonderful and fantastic, and it had a lot of nosing and tasting notes, and it was just brilliant. But I may have hit the wrong icon at the end of recording in my haste to get it together. And I erased the whole thing, all 20 minutes of it. So this is why this is not a pristine, unopened bottle. It's had already 1 dram taken out of it. I'll try to do it justice. It says here in French, Produit d'Écosse, whisky écossais, 10 ans d'âge. Burn Stewart Distilleries Limited, 8 Milton Road, College, Milton North, East Kilbride, United Kingdom. All right. Established in 1798, so you'd hope the people at the Tobermory Distillery know what the hell they're doing. And based on what I had last night, they do. I don't know if I'll ever get some Tobermory that's unpeated, but the Ledaig is available. Or at least it was when I bought this one. Now, let's nose it. I'm already getting a waft of peat from this Glencairn, which is so far away from me. Yes, peat. Peat smoke. Creosote. Beautiful creosote. Beautiful creosote. When I was 6 or 7 years old, my father built a deck, or shall I say a balcony, in front of this cabin, or right on this cabin, where I spent my summers as a youth. I think I was from age 5 till about age 16. Every summer I was up there from the time school was out in mid to late June till Labor Day. So July, August, every summer I was at this place while growing up. And to replace the dry rotted balcony that had been there, my father repaired or rebuilt it. And what he did was he had these 5-gallon drums. They were gray. They were a neutral gray, full of creosote. And he had a brush that was about yay wide. And he would put the creosote in like one of these paint, where you put the roller in for, painting. And he filled it up with creosote, and he would dip the brush in there, and he would just slather the brush everywhere all over this deck. And that was around 1970. Now, the last time I was there at that place, it was the year 2010, 40 years later. And that particular balcony had not aged at all. That creosote just preserved the wood in its pristine condition, the way it was built back in 1970. And the smell of that creosote, the aroma of that creosote is what I'm getting right here in this glass. Beautiful. Now the creosote and tar kind of moves aside. You have to get past it, but it's a bit of a challenge because it's so strong. Getting past it, I'm getting some orange. Quite a bit of orange. Orange and pineapple. Quite an interesting combination of fruits. I'm getting a little bit of spice, but it's hard to say whether that spice is from the smoke or the spice itself. It is somewhat spicy underneath the smoke, and fruity, yes. I'm getting something salty and maritime too. It's just lovely. Now I did this yesterday, so this is not necessarily a first reaction. There's this creosote, the fruit, the saltiness. It's quite complex in the nose. Now, let's taste it. Intense. Creosote. Mostly what I'm getting is creosote. And then a bit of that orange and pineapple thing again. Lovely. If you like peat, you're going to love this. This is a beautiful peated whiskey. It doesn't say anywhere what the percentage of how many parts per million of phenols. It tastes medicinal and phenolic. Let's cleanse the palate. Rather than a bonfire, it's medicinal and phenolic. A bonfire would have more wood in it. This has like coal and creosote and tar and all of that good stuff. This is lovely. Did I mention that it was from the island of Mull? The only whiskey from the island of Mull besides the Tobermory, which this is based on. I'm jumping all over the place here. Orange and pineapple. Underneath the creosote smoke, of course. This stuff is brilliant. It may rapidly become my favorite peated whiskey. And this after having Port Charlotte and Lafroig and everything else from the island of Islay. This definitely gives it a run for its money. Tarry creosote, lovely. Yeah, you know, it's been in the glass for over 10 minutes and now the peat slowly moves aside. I'm getting a bit of cream, marzipan. That walnut underneath the peat. And it's creamy. Strange. Do that again. Orange, pineapple, creosote. And in the aftertaste, there's a maritime saltiness. Oh yeah. And with that peat smoke, that there's vanilla. And vanilla is that creaminess that I was feeling at first. Now it's a vanilla flavor. The orange and the pineapple flavors seem to have dissipated, and in the end I'm getting creosote, smoke, and vanilla, which is odd because usually I get caramel more strongly than vanilla, but here I'm getting vanilla in the end, along with, well, underneath the smoke and the fruits that have subsided. And there's just that long vanilla aftertaste that just kind of goes on like a long musical note. Do that again. Wait. Cleanse the palate. And do that again. You know, this may have been colored because it looks kind of orange. Especially, it looks kind of orange on the recording, but on the screen. But it looks a little yellow and more golden as I look at it. So it's hard to say. Oh, once more into the breach. Oh, there's that creosote on the tip of my tongue. And yes, the orange in the middle. And towards the end, there's the salty vanilla note. And even cloves. There's cloves and vanilla and salt towards the end. Now, yesterday when I tasted this, the cloves in the aftertaste was much more predominant. It was as soon as I uncorked the bottle and poured it, there was a stronger hint of cloves towards the end. Less so of salt, and definitely less so of vanilla. Let's try a bit of water, shall we? I mean, to be fair. Okay, that's a bit of water. That brings the alcohol by volume at around 40. Okay. What a complex whiskey for 10 years old. It's lovely. Ledaig is right up there, and it may become my favorite peated malt. I would just like to try more examples of it. Okay, this has been poured about 15 minutes ago. And it's had water added to it. So it will not be the same as the first pour of the bottle, and it will not be the same as the first sip or nose of Ledaig. It's watered down, it's more gentle, but the creosote is still there, predominantly among the other kind of phenolic peaty flavors. I predict that if I'm not careful, this bottle is going to disappear quickly. There's the creosote again. With the addition of water, there's not so much of a salty maritime thing as there was earlier. There's a bit of cloves, yeah. And cloves and vanilla. Vanilla towards the end. Quite right, quite nice. Well, seeing as it's Christmas Day, I'll wish you a happy Christmas even though I don't really celebrate it. And I'll say slanchava to your health.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.